Hello, today we are looking at numerical expressions. So before we start, I want you to take a moment to try to solve this math expression that you see right here. See if you can figure out the answer. Pause the video. And hopefully you have an idea in your head of what the answer is. Now in class, we put our answers into the chat, and there was many different answers that people came up with. And we're going to look at what the one correct answer is. And that is going to be using something called the order of operations. So today we'll be using the order of operations to solve expressions. So some learning targets first. I can find the value of an expression using the order of operations. And I can explain to a classmate in a breakout room what PEMDAS stands for. So PEMDAS is the saying that we're going to be using today. PEMDAS. Sometimes we say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And this is a way for us to remember the order that you use when you're solving numerical expressions. So first, when you look at this expression that we have here, the one that I gave you at the beginning of class, we always start with something called parentheses. And parentheses are the things that look like this. Do you notice any parentheses in that expression? No, there are no parentheses. So we will actually be skipping the P because this expression here doesn't have any parentheses, and we'll go on to the E. So E stands for exponents. So after we look for parentheses, we always look for exponents next. And I see an exponent right here, right? So we are going to solve that part of the expression next. So 2 to the second power, remember that means that we have the number 2 multiplied by itself 2 times. So 2 times 2, that means. And 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so I just did the part of exponents. I like to write the other parts of the expression back on there. So I have 1 times 4 plus 8 divided by, now it's 4, because we just solved that part, minus 4 plus 2. All right, so parentheses, then exponents. Now we're going to go on to the M and the D. And the M and the D actually go together in the same step. So in this step, we have multiplication and division. Okay? And what happens is that we do those steps together, going right to left. So going in this direction, or sorry, no, left to right. So go like you read a book. We're going in order. So I see multiplication here. I see division here. So we're going to do the one that comes on the left first. Multiplication and division go together. So 1 times 4 is 4. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. I'm going to go back in and fill in the pieces that we just did. And then we're going to go on to the next step. So that was my dear. Now we need the Aunt Sally part. And the Aunt Sally is addition and subtraction. And just like multiplication and division, those go in the same step. So you're going to do your addition and subtraction in the same, like we did multiplication, division, going left to right. At this point, these are the last steps of the order of operations, so it should be all that we have left, so we're just going to go straight across. So we have 4 plus 2, which is 6, minus 4 makes 2, plus 2 makes 4. Okay, and that is our final answer. So whenever you're trying to solve a numerical expression, you're going to go through the saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS. But the thing that you need to remember is that the multiplication and division are in the same step, going left to right, and the addition and subtraction are in the same step, going left to right. So we're going to look at a couple examples together, just to make sure that we have it down. And you can pause the video at any time to make sure that you know how to do this and try it on your own. So remember, we have PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And remember, these two go together and these two go together. Okay, so I'm going to start with my P, and P stands for parentheses. I do not see any parentheses at all in this expression, so I'm going to skip that one. E, remember, stands for exponents, like that. This expression doesn't have any exponents, so I'm going to skip that. M and D stand for multiplication. Well, once again, we don't have those things, so we get to skip to the last step, which is just addition and subtraction. So that means I just get to go straight across from left to right. 10 minus 2 is 8. And I can write it out if I want to, but it is in the same step if I just want to go straight across. And 8 plus 8 is 16. And you're going to want to show your work, either doing it like this, or you might notice a different way that I show my work in the next couple problems. All right, this one's a little bit longer, so hopefully we can come up with some more of the steps to use here. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS. All right, let's start with our parentheses. So looking at this expression, do you see any parentheses? Yes, I see parentheses too. So here are our parentheses. So we're going to start there, and we're going to do 9 minus 6, which is 3. Now again, I like to write all the other parts out. Some of you will have a different way that you kind of look at the problems. All right, done with parentheses. We're going to go on to the next one, which is exponents. Remember, exponents are these little numbers up here. I don't see any exponents in this expression at all, so we get to skip that step. My dear, M and D, remember that's multiplication and division, and we're going to go left to right. All right, let's see if we can find some multiplication and division. So I see division here, and I see multiplication here. All right, so we're going to start with our division because it is the one that is on the left, and that is 20 divided by 4. I know that 20 divided by 4 is 5. I also have to do my multiplication in this step. Ooh, I chose kind of a hard number here. So 17 times 3, I might need to pull out my multiplication chart or calculator. 17 times 3 is 51. I can't forget about this addition sign that was there before. We can't just get rid of it. And I'm done with my multiplication and division step. Okay, last is my Aunt Sally, which is addition and subtraction. So all I have is addition left. I'm going to add those numbers together, 5 plus 51, or I can think about it as 51 plus 5, and that is 56. All right, let's look at one more together. I want you to pause the video and see if you can answer it yourself. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So pause, try it, see if you can come up with an answer, and then come back and see if you got it right. All right, let's see how you did. So remember that P stands for parentheses. Now we've got a little bit of a tricky situation here because in our parentheses we have a couple things. We have an exponent and we have addition. So we're going to look at our order of operations and think about what comes first. Does exponent come first or does addition come first? So you can see that the E comes before the A, so the exponents is going to be the first thing we do. So we're going to solve this 2 to the third power. Now remember that 3 means that we're going to multiply the number 2 3 times. And 2 times 2 times 2, so 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 makes 8. So I'm just going to put that 8 right here. I'm still in the step of parentheses right now. I need to finish solving my parentheses. I have 8 plus 4, which makes 12. All right, so I'm done with that step. I don't have any more exponents other than the one that I just did. What do I have left? Why don't I write the 24 divided by part again, just so we can see it better. I only have some division left. So that's going to be the next part that I'm going to do. So I have 24 divided by 12, which makes 2. Okay, so it's a good idea to write down PEMDAS on your homework when you're working on it, so that you always have that reminder of the steps. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. For homework, you're going to open your book to page 445, and you're going to solve the problems from this independent practice, depending on which level you want to choose. So go ahead and circle your problems now, and come see me during WIN or during work time if you have any questions.